Hey y'all, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. Just wanted to give y'all a quick video. So it's What's Growing Wednesday, and I wanted to show y'all what's going on with the AeroGardens. You may notice here that we have a little bit of a new setup, but it's really not that new. What happened is that I finished this backsplash project that I had going on. So this is actually some, believe it or not, peel and stick tile that I did myself here in the kitchen. So we put it all the way across. I need to get a different finish faceplate for our plugs there and get a new replacement for that electrical piece and all that. But I'm liking it a lot so far. And what I realized is this is also functional because the light, of course, is reflecting off of that surface. So when it comes back time to need to germinate some more seeds, we're going to have that benefit. But I wanted to show y'all what's growing on in these gardens, particularly that we have, of course, now another thing of some organic green onions that we have grown right here. And I love seeing, so these ones here are ones that we've used just in meals and dishes that we were making that have grown back up. But you'll see some also that have their original tips that are growing up. So that's what's one thing that's growing on. And then these right here are some that I initially had that I remember I told you I had them in water like this. Didn't like to stand in water. Took them out, put them in a little gardening pot that I had that I got for a product review. And they've just been growing. There's a new baby coming up there. But what I really wanted to show y'all is that my lavender that's been in here for at least about 50 days has finally started turning purple, and you can see that. So these lavenders, because I have 2 in this garden, and then I have like 3 going in the harvest that's on top of my farm, was grown from the AeroGarden lavender pod. So if you look down here, you'll see the actual lavender tag from there. So I want to feel like it's I'd have to look, and then I can put down in the description what variety of lavender it is. But it smells so nice. And I mentioned before, the leaves also have the fragrance of lavender in addition to the flowers and the part now that it's starting to get that purple look to it. If you can see, I'm trying to bring it into focus for y'all. But it's really pretty. So there we have the thyme that's growing. I started another one of the mint. So I had dropped in some of my own mint seeds and they weren't growing. So this is one of the AeroGarden pods, and we're just going to adjust our palates to the taste of the peppermint mint that AeroGarden has. These are my chives that I believe are my seeds that I dropped into a chive pod that did not work for me before. And they're growing up, doing really well, getting nice and full. Another lavender. So you see here, this lavender is really starting to get thick and spread out. This lavender, not so much. And then over here is some Italian parsley that I started from my own seeds that, again, this is another pod for me that was a dud that I decided to use. And last but not least, this is one of my mini African violets that was over on my bounty that I moved over here because I felt like it was small enough to fit. And just like I showed y'all in the other video, I took that opening there for the AeroGarden water reservoir, popped it out, set this on top, and there is a little wicking stream that is gone down into the AeroGarden. And that's how this is drawing up water and nutrients, and it's a happy little camper. And we can see here where I have some new flower buds that are coming out. That one in the back looks like it's closer to blooming than these ones in the front. So that's what's growing on with this garden. I'll show you the other salad garden. So this area got an upgrade too as far as the backsplash. But this garden I kind of massacred. Last night we had spaghetti and I used the salads like I've been telling y'all to harvest. So this garden was 67 days old, or at least 66 days or 65ish days when I started harvesting this kind of hardcore. If you remember, this is actually a red leaf lettuce that I got from our local botanical garden sale and put in here. So this was initially grown in soil. I took it out of the soil, washed it off, cleaned it off really good, and then put it in an AeroGarden grow pod and put it in here. I'm actually germinating some more. Need to clean this up a little bit more. Some more salad greens there, so we'll have that coming up. This is a brand new pod that I just dropped in. That's another new pod that I just dropped in. So once I take these two out, and then I have this deer tongue that I still was going to use for my lunch today. Will probably end up being tomorrow. This one really needs to go, but I was going to use that just for some baby greens and then reuse that pod, or the pod case, not the actual dirt part, or peat moss, whatevs. But I say all that to say, yeah, these have done really well for us. And this one, you can kind of see how it's grown up, how it's kind of starting to bolt. It hadn't set any seeds, so it hasn't truly bolted, but it's still growing up, still trying to put out greens. My husband and I asked him if he noticed any bitterness. Sorry, that was my alarm going off in the background. But I asked my husband if he noticed any bitterness to the lettuce or anything that was offensive to his taste, and he said no, I didn't either. So for us, it being 65 days old or 66 days old when we decided to continue eating, it didn't bother us. I know I've seen folks say online that they notice that as the salad is older, or as it starts to get this elongation and go growing towards bolting, that they notice bitterness or don't like the taste on their palates. That wasn't a problem for us. So I say try it, test it out, continue to grow your lettuce, harvest from those outer leaves like I've done here, and see if you don't like it, or if it's something that's offensive to you, then at least you know how far you can go with your garden. So like I said, this is Fix It with Friend, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I do believe we all have gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while we can't all necessarily fix everything, I do believe we can all fix something. So until next time, I pray that you will find that thing and fix it. And let me know what's growing on in your gardens. Thanks for watching.